I teach marketing, and what's really interesting about this technology is I had to think, how do I apply this technology to the marketing field? And the reason why is that marketing changes so rapidly every day in terms of things that are happening, and it's interesting to admit this with both the academic vice president and president here, but I don't teach textbook marketing, I teach street marketing, because I learned marketing in the street. And when I say the streets, I mean the streets of IBM and Xerox and corporations like that, where I went through their full marketing training program. So the key with using technology with marketing is that you've got to figure out, how do I bring the students to the street every day, because every day the whole marketing idea is constantly evolving. To give you an example, this weekend I ran a church retreat. Many of you know I'm a minister, and I ran a retreat for my board. And one of the things they said to me was that we needed to start tweeting. And I was going, tweeting? They said, yes. They said that there's a technology now where people are actually tweeting while I'm giving the Sunday service. And so they're taking the key clips out of it, and they're tweeting it to people. And then when I went into church on Sunday and I mentioned that, some of the young people between 20 and 40 were saying, oh yeah, I put your services up on Facebook, and then we tweet about what you talk about. So I'm saying that that's how rapidly marketing is changing, and new things are being used with it. So to really use technology to keep my students current, I got to figure out how to get them into the street. And the best way that I found to do that is through the use of YouTube. Okay, I love the use of YouTube because I can actually have guests come in, guest speakers, without the hassle of getting guest speakers. Right? Basically, like last week, we looked at some of the top marketing instructors at the Wharton School of Business, talking about what they're doing with some of their clients. And so it gives them an opportunity to see that, and also to be able to show them. I like to use YouTube videos that match with, when they see it, they click with it right away. They know and they understand what the people are talking about. What I've been doing is embedding the YouTube videos into the textbook authors' actual PowerPoints at the point in which they fit what we are looking at. So they can look at a theory from the textbook, and then we can go right into the street and see how that theory is being used in the street. And then what we do is, as you'll see when I move through this, we will use the polling technology of Clicker to see whether or not they've grasped the idea. Okay, let me come down to this idea here. Integrated marketing concepts. After we looked at that integrated marketing concept, we went to a video. This is an excellent video on how Bing and Jay-Z came together. Of course, I'll ask them, what is Bing trying to do? Bing is all, of course, trying to get themselves to be as well known as Google. And and Jay-Z is doing his natural thing of trying to bring his book out. And there's some really creative things in here with taking his book and actually taking pages of his book and putting them everywhere, and then creating sort of a gamification for people to look for that. Okay, so that's one idea. And then I'm not going to try to bring all of them up, but let me just go. So what I'll do then is we looked at that, and then we'll talk about a few concepts around that. And then of course I will take them to where we're actually going to do. They've got clickers, and now they're going to be involved in answering the questions around that particular concept. Because I didn't want them to get all involved in hearing the concept, being wrapped up in the excitement of watching the video, and then not really getting what they were supposed to get. Okay. So we do a polling, and when we go through the polling, if they do well with the answers, we move on. If not, we will discuss more to help them understand what is going on with that particular concept. This is the idea of encoding. How do you encode a message? Marketers encode, we decode, right? So when you're seeing advertising, they're advertising something, they're encoding that message. You got to figure out what that message means for you. And then this particular video with Jay-Z sitting and talking, which is a really powerful video because it was talking about his life and how he encoded his life into the message of his songs, and that's what caused him to become so popular. So after we went through that, we watched that video, then of course we talked a little bit more about the ideas of consumer perception and encoding, and then we went into a testing phase again. Okay, so that works really well for me. There's several more in there. the thing I like about it is I wanted to choose a technology that I personally felt excited about doing on a daily basis. I spend a lot of time in YouTube. And so in almost any question you ask, you can find the answers in YouTube with somebody demonstrating that idea. So that works, that works really well for me in my classes. So tear the article out of the magazine and throw the magazine away and carry the articles with you, so you always have them with you. With Flipboard, you can create that kind of situation where you've got the articles with you all the time and can read them anywhere, even on your phone. So Flipboard, a lot of times people have it on their phone as opposed to their iPad. So Flipboard is one of the things I use with the students. Of course, everybody's probably using the teacher's kit to keep their assignments, take attendance rather. And that's a really good way to do it. Pulse is another type of a magazine type thing that you can also use, that I have students using. And then also I just started using this for Mind, which is a text program made for students and teachers, where the students I can text them, which is what I love doing, because students are falling behind. If I write them an email, a lot of times they're falling behind, they're not looking at those emails. All right, but if I can text them, they get that right away, that you did not. Monday morning is when I do all of the assignments, check all the assignments that are due that past week up till Sunday, and I can text them to say, I didn't get your assignment. Okay, and a lot of times they go, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot, or whatever. So that's it works very well. All I have is with students getting started in the class. When I was thinking about technology, I was going, all right, I know there's a lot of fancy things we can do in terms of making sure they're gaining or grasping the knowledge as you are teaching it, but there's also this problem of getting them started, getting them involved into the class, getting them to know where everything is in Blackboard and what they're supposed to be doing. And no matter how much I write and send them messages about where things are, there'll be 2 or 3 weeks later, people go, oh, I didn't know he didn't Blackboard, or whatever it might be. So say, well, maybe they're not reading. So I love the Screen-O-Matic. I love that Screen-O-Matic, all right? Okay, so this is a video. Not a video. Yeah, I guess it is a video. It's a video of me walking them through getting into my Blackboard course, and then walking them through what I want them to do. Okay, and this is a short one, so it's not a full-blown what they would actually get, because I didn't want to run it too long, but I'll run it for a few minutes.
Pause this recording and write down that URL address, but you should have gotten that in an email attachment that I sent to you before the class started. Once the Blackboard website opens, just put in your username and password. This is something that you got during registration, so you should know what that is. When you log in.
Oh, I'm sorry, Screencast-O-Matic. It's wonderful. So anything you're doing on the computer, it's recording it as you're doing it. Yeah, so I really love that program.